Hey guys, it's Adam from DC Systems. Today's video is going to be about how much can you make from a Bitcoin ATM. So one of the things I want to go over in today's video, one is going to be location. The other one's going to be the cost of acquiring the location. The third is going to be marketing the location. The other one, last, is going to be the fees that we're going to be able to charge at the location. So there's a lot of different variables when it comes to picking the right location. One is foot traffic. One is how much it's going to cost to acquire that location, and then one of the last one is what is the potential fees that you can charge, because depending on the right location, if there's not a lot of competition around you, you'll be able to make more money off of fees. So now, when choosing the right location, like I said, I found a lot of success when it comes to shopping malls. They tend to get a lot of foot traffic. They're open good hours, usually between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. I know the hours extend in the holidays. Also, it's a safe place. People feel safe when they go to a public place or a shopping mall. They feel like they're going somewhere where they know it's reputable, rather than someone having to go to, let's say, a liquor store or a smoke shop where there's not a lot of people and they feel like they could be doing some sort of transaction that feels safe. Especially for people who are buying cryptocurrency. A lot of time, most of our customers are new customers. It's their first time using cryptocurrency. So a lot of times they have a lot of questions, and we want to make their experience using our machines as safe as possible. We want to make them feel comfortable. So next thing is cost. So the cost of acquiring a location varies depending on the foot traffic, depending on where you're trying to put your machine. So like I said, if you're trying to locate one, if you're trying to put one in a shopping mall, and the fees are going to be higher there because it's a shopping mall. They don't charge cheap. You're going to be looking for higher fees rather than putting it in a liquor store or a smoke shop. A lot of times when you're dealing with like a liquor store and a smoke shop, you can kind of negotiate the fees a little bit more because you're dealing with the owner directly. When you're dealing with the shopping mall, you'll be dealing with a property management company where they're pretty strict on how they, on their terms of when they're leasing. One also good thing about if you decide to go with the liquor store is that a lot of times these monthly leases can be done on a month-to-month basis. There's really no locked in. When you're at a shopping, like to lock you in for at least 12 months to 6 months, up to multiple years if they can. So you're really gambling at that point, because if you choose the wrong location and you're locked into a 2-year lease, you're locked into paying that monthly fee regardless if you're making money or not. The good thing about a liquor store, if you do it on a month-to-month, that machine's not doing good for 3 months, you can pull that machine from the location and you can move it to another store. So that covers that part, which is the locations. Next is going to be cost. I think we went over cost a little bit. So cost is going to be really, how much do you want to pay? What's going to be your budget? A lot of people when they start out, you don't want to go and pay hundreds of dollars for a location. So maybe putting it in a liquor store or a smoke shop might be the way for you, or your local mini mart or even laundromat. That might be the right location for you to put it, because like I said, if you know the owner already, he's in your neighborhood, he might have seen your face a lot of times. You can negotiate with him and say, hey look, I got this machine I want to put out, and you guys can maybe come up with some sort of terms on how you guys can do that could be beneficial for him and also for you. I have seen some business models where people either pay a monthly fee to the convenience store owner, or what they're doing is they're earning a percentage of the profits. That might be more enticing for the business owner because what that does is that really gets the convenience store owner involved in the business, and they really want to see it succeed, because if it succeeds, then that means that they're making money as well. So those are a couple things to think about when it comes to location and cost. The next thing I want to talk about is marketing. So when it comes down to marketing, there's a lot of, like I said, if you put it in a great location like a shopping mall, how many people go through a shopping mall a day? Thousands of them. So that's great marketing in itself, just based off the location. Now, there's other ways, Google, there's Coin ATM Radar. I know there's a lot of other smaller sites that I see popping up where they're allowing people to put their locations on where their machines are. So there's also Facebook, social media. I mean, all that stuff is really free, guys, and if you guys can take advantage of that, that's a great way to market the machine locally, get people responding out there. There's lots of other things you could do. You can try creating specials. Hey, get people involved, get them connected on social media, and try creating specials for them to come on Fridays and make a purchase. You can lower the fees, different stuff like that. There's also word of mouth is great, so make sure that you guys always have great customer service. That's one of the things that I always try to strive for, because if the customer has a good experience at the machine, most likely they're going to come back. So it's really of you building trust with the customer, obviously giving them the right experience so they can feel comfortable to come back and use the machine again. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be fees. So the fees, what I mean by that is, what are the fees that we're charging per the transaction? So like I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, is that the machines gross anywhere between, depending on the right location, I mean a good machine on a regular month can do about $30,000 a month in transactions. Now when I say $30,000 a month, I'm talking about transactions, and that's not what we're making in gross profit. So that's where we add on our fees. So the fees is basically a percentage of the transaction that we as the operators charge to the customer who's purchasing the Bitcoins. To kind of give you an example, someone goes to a machine and they want to buy $500 worth of Bitcoin. Now, when they go to the machine and they insert $500 cash, our fee at that time, where we put into our software, is 12%. So that machine will then, at that time, after they make the $500 purchase, it will send them the $500 worth of Bitcoin minus the 12% or 10%, however much you guys want to charge on your machine in fees. So that's how we actually make our profit. I got a little bit more examples that I can kind of show you, and I kind of put together a graph to kind of show you how everything's kind of broken down. Okay, so first we have our gross, we have our cost, and we have our net, and then we have basically our fee that we charge. So at most of my machines we charge about 12%, okay, anywhere between 10 and 12% depending on the location. Okay, so any number of my machines on a given month, they do about $30,000 in transactions a month. Okay, now at that 12%, minus, if you would do 12% minus 30,000, that would come out to $3,600. This is my income of what I'm making a month off of those machines. Okay, now off of that income, we have costs that are associated with that, which is going to be our rent. Okay, any rent is going to be between, like I said, if you're in a convenience store, a liquor store, it's going to be between $150 to $200. If you're going to be putting in a shopping mall, you're looking at anywhere between $400 and $500. Okay, we also have supplies. So supplies means paper. It could mean cleaning the machine, any type of, sometimes things break down. Rarely happens, but let's just say your cost is going to be between $20 and $40. Okay, if you need to buy more paper for the machine, for the receipt printer, stuff like that. We also have the insurance. Okay, if you're going to be putting this up, for sure at a shopping mall, you're going to have to, you're not going to have any mall that's not going to require you to have general liability insurance. Okay, you can probably negotiate with some liquor store owner, some guy that can maybe you could squeak by without it, but if you really want to put it where there's high traffic, then you're going to have your paperwork right. Okay, the next thing is compliance. So having a Bitcoin machine, there is compliance that we need to have in order to operate and to be in business. Okay. Now, what we have is called an AML policy. That's an anti-money laundering policy, and I will later go over in more depth another video about that, and we can discuss it in more detail, because this is absolutely necessary when you run and operate Bitcoin ATM. Okay. Now, after all this is paid, you have actually a net profit of $32.30. Okay. So after everything's paid, you're going to have something that looks around this. Okay. Usually, like I said, it's going to vary depending on your costs, but based off of this numbers, you're looking at $32.30 in profit. Okay, so I mean, this is what we average on a monthly. We have months where we do 20,000, but there's months where we easily do 50 and 60,000. So it really varies, like I said, depending on location. But these are kind of the numbers that you can expect when you operate your machine and you get it in the right place. So yeah, guys, so in the next videos, I'm probably going to go in a little bit more depth about the compliance and some other things. If you guys have any suggestions as well, please comment below. Let me know how I'm doing. I'm trying to make these videos as informative for you guys as I can. But thank you guys again, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to view the video, okay? All right, thank you. Take care. Bye.